Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I don't know where you're watching us from, but welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Rachel Dolcine, and I am the chairperson for the Jamaica Diaspora Worldwide Organization Task Force, otherwise known as JDWOT. For this particular interview, we are going to say JDWOT because saying all that is a lot. JDWOT is a member of the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. You might know that as JDTAN. So we are proud members of JDTAN. Today, I am interviewing Dr. Camir Ricketts. This is our new season of JamTalks. And I know it's been a while since we had our Jam Talk, but our new season is starting. And I am super, super, super excited about this season because for the next 6 weeks, you are going to meet some Jamaicans who are ages 18 through 45 who are doing amazing work in the diaspora. I am excited about that because as a nonprofit consultant, I understand the importance of legacy, especially for organizations, not just for a country, not just for families, but the importance of legacy and the importance of inspiring the younger generation to pick up that mantle, grab that baton, and keep the work going. So these young folks, and I know I kind of fall in that category too, but you know, hanging on to youth, these young people have not just started their own organizations, but are also a part of some pretty amazing organizations. So my first interview with Dr. Camir Ricketts, I know is going to inspire you. He is an amazing young man, straight out of Jamaica. I met him a few years back, and I have been inspired by him since I met him. So I don't want to give away everything about him because I want you to hear from him. So before I kind of get into my questions and pummel him with all the questions that I have, Dr. Camir Ricketts, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rachel. Excited to be here.
Of course. So I'm gonna call you Camir because that's what I know you, to everybody else, you're Dr. Ricketts. So when you make your comments, make sure you address him as Dr. Ricketts. He has worked very hard
God,
to earn that doctorate.
Many years.
He's Camir. So Camir, tell us about yourself. Where you're from in Jamaica, what you're doing now, where you work. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I am originally from Montego Bay, Jamaica. So I was raised there. I was born to Consuelo and Neville Ricketts, my parents. And I went to Herbert Martin Technical High School in Jamaica, did high school in Jamaica, also went to sixth form at Herbert Martin Technical High School. I also did an associate degree at Caribbean Institute of Technology while I was there. And then when it was time for university, for college, decided to pursue my studies, my bachelor's at the University of Georgia here in the US. So flew out, left mommy and daddy, left my little brother, little sister, and said, all right, I'm gonna see what life is like outside of Jamaica. So spent 4 years there, get my bachelor's. I did microbiology and computer science while I was there. And then afterwards, by that time, really got interested in bioinformatics, in computational biology, in how can I, impact medicine and healthcare, not as a physician, because I knew really early on that I didn't want to be a doctor, even though a lot of teachers wanted me to go be a physician, MD doctor, but decided I'll be a research doctor instead and impact things on that side. So went to Cornell to do my PhD in computational biology at medicine, and that's where I spent next 5.5 years studying in New York. So I did my first year up in Ithaca, then finished the rest of my PhD in the city at Weill Cornell Medicine in Manhattan. And I finished that last year, and now I am a bioinformatics scientist in artificial intelligence at NVIDIA, which is a large AI company here in the US.
Wow. So you're like super smart. I'm listening to all that, and all I hear is math and science, which are two of my least favorite subjects.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, anyone who masters those is super smart to me. But I mean, amazing accomplishments in a short space of time, right? A short space of time, because you're not even, are you even 30 yet?
No, I am 28.
Not even 30 yet. So I think
just turned 28.
Yes, yes. In that short space of time, what an amazing, amazing accomplishment academically. So you've accomplished quite a bit academically, but your accomplishments are not just academic. You have actually taken your passion for mentoring, your passion for opening opportunities for Jamaicans at home to be exposed to opportunities, professionals, just a way to grow both personally and professionally by starting Minds of Jamaica. So tell us about how Minds of Jamaica, why you started it and how it started.
Yeah. Minds of Jamaica is a very interesting story. And I guess it's something that, really stems back from, when I was leaving Jamaica, my mom was always big on, no matter what you do, don't forget, home, don't forget Jamaica, don't forget to look out for ways to like help people. And she would just harbor on that point for all the years while I was away, right? And so I would eventually start looking for opportunities. And at the time, I'm a college student. What can I do to help anybody? Like, you don't know what to do. And then as you progress through your academic career, you start gaining more skills, gain more confidence, start feeling like, okay, I do have something to offer and help and so on. So I would, because I would come home fairly often, maybe once in the summer, once in Christmas, especially when I was doing my PhD, I would come and I would, make myself available to do like lectures at University of West Indies to their computer science department, their medical group, etc. And even go back to, say, Herbert Myers Technical High School and speak to their sixth formers and just help out. Because that was the way I saw, I could impact and help out. So while I was in graduate school, actually, I got really involved in mentorship. I helped start one of the first mentorship programs for Black graduate students, first-year graduate students here at Weill Cornell Medicine. And, working with one of my mentors, Dr. Marcus Lambert, really started to appreciate, the impact of career mentorship and guidance in those ways. So when I came, I think it was 2018, I came to Jamaica and I gave a lecture at UWI and also talked to some students at Herbert Technical High School. And the kind of questions that those students were asking me after my talk, it became fairly clear that a lot of them, even at the university level, even being juniors and seniors in university, didn't have any real relationship with someone who was doing that thing that they're pursuing in the real world. They didn't have any actual context for what does this look like, when I finish school and I try to get a job in this field, what does my day-to-day look like? What kind of things do I have to what kind of skills are necessary? What kind of soft skills are necessary for success in these areas? And just thinking back to my experience and feeling like I had a ton of opportunities while in college, while in graduate school, to meet people who are in the position I aspire to, and I know how impactful that was for my journey and my career, and just being strategic about how what opportunities I go find, what opportunities I take on. I felt like our Jamaican students were not being given all the tools they could be given to really make better decisions. And so many students, even when I was speaking at sixth form, a lot of them were interested in all these different areas and had no clue how to resolve them in terms of picking a path, right? And they really connected with, because one thing I was explaining to them was that I, at one point, especially in high school, I knew I wanted to do the life sciences, but I always was interested in programming and computer science. And at that point, I had no clue that something existed that married both of them. So I was in a dilemma, and it took somebody who is more experienced, who's been around the block more than me, to just, it's one conversation. It took one conversation where they were like, actually, that sounds like computational biology. And that was my first time ever hearing the term, and that changed everything for me. Now I had something to look forward to. And so I think, I really left those interactions thinking, okay, how can I help students get access to those conversations? Because a lot of them were asking me questions I couldn't answer. When they were like, I'm interested in music and I'm interested in neuroscience, how do I combine? I'm like, I don't know, and then, as I think, well, I wish there was an easy way for me to just, if I get a question I don't know, I can just tap into somebody I think might know and they can help and so on. So I really came back to the US to continue my studies, and those interactions sat with me, and I was like, okay, let me try to grab, because I have many friends of mine who are in different industries who I think are brilliant and doing amazing. So I was like, let me find a way to grab them and pull them into one location where I can easily pass on the questions to them. And that's kind of what, I kept iterating on that idea until it became Minds of Jamaica, where we're basically creating one platform to house a lot of these amazing Jamaican professionals you see doing amazing things all over the world. We're always proud of, our fellow Jamaicans, and they're making strides in all sorts of industries and so on. So let's create a space now where we can house them and students know, okay, this is the one place I can go to and try to get some questions answered. And, we have things that we try to, in schools, we try to have career days, and we try to have like, profile on TV, we highlight certain people, and even platforms like these. But the reality and what I think makes us unique is that we are essentially a service that's available all the time. So I don't have to catch you on career day, that one day I have to make sure someone talk to this person and ask them the question I need to ask. A lot of students shy, and if I ask the questions they need to be asking anyway. There's a platform now where if it's 11 p.m. at night, you can jump on the platform and actually send in a question and get your questions answered, no matter when it is. There's not and we have rolling access. So it's not like, okay, we only accept cohorts during August to September or anything like that. It's always available for you to just tune in, and that's kind of what I wanted to build, and we're continuing to build on that. So, yeah.
Okay, so the Minds are Jamaican professionals all over the world, including in Jamaica, who are making themselves available. They're in different industries, and they're making themselves available to young people in Jamaica who may be pursuing a particular career path, or they may not even know. They may just have a particular passion, and they're trying to figure out how they can make a living, or they're seeking mentoring so they can then connect with a mind anywhere in the world who's of Jamaican descent, so that cultural identity is still there, and essentially get virtual mentoring.
Yeah, and we started out, now we have people who are not living in Jamaica, but initially we were very big on focusing that we want our minds, at least our first set of minds, to be living in Jamaica. And we still, if you look at our minds right now, there's still a heavy skew towards most of them are actively living in Jamaica, because I really want to show students as well that you can be in Jamaica and doing a lot of amazing things. And I think that is one thing. I left and studied abroad, of course. So I'm supportive of students who want to pursue studies abroad, but I do not support the idea that like, I have to leave, I want to make anything of myself. You know what I mean? There's a balance there, and so I really looked at that as like kind of another good positive effect that the platform could have, was just showing you. It's like a place you can just scroll through and see people in your country doing things. Like we have one of our minds. She's a radiology chemist. She lives in Jamaica, studied in Jamaica. I didn't know before meeting. I didn't know Jamaica had a radiology chemist.
Wow.
And that sounds like one of those things that like a student would assume immediately. Well, I probably have to go foreign before we go do that. You know what I mean? So, but she lives in Jamaica. She was so highlighting those people as well has been, a big focus for us. But now we have Jamaicans who are working in the US, who are in the UK, and so on, just to give that diversity of experience, because a lot of everybody's paths are so different.
Exactly. So at this point in time, how many minds do you have? Do you know how many minds is housed?
Yeah. So at this point in time, I think we have roughly 37 minds and counting. 37 minds and counting, and we're gearing up now to really drive and do a big push to add new minds as well.
And do you know, on average, I know you recently gotten a new platform that can kind of help to scale what you're doing. Do you know on average how many young people a year that come on the website in pursuit of trying to be connected with one of the minds?
That number is hard because we have not every kind of interaction goes through the platform. So we kind of split things into two bins or two programs. So we have what we call a career kickstart program that is aimed at 18 and above. So normally that's senior sixth formers and then university students. And in that program, you're logging on to our platform. You're engaging one-on-one with minds and kind of really driving those one-on-one engagement. And then for our students who are below 18, we kind of have we put them in what we call the Rising Star program. Okay. In that setting, you don't go through the platform. It's very much group mentorship session. So you have like 2 or 3 minds and a moderator, and we kind of take it through. Said different is very much a roundtable discussion. So we don't like talking at you. We just want to, but we have subset of students in those and having a discussion around financing your education, because a lot of the questions that group of students ask is often very different from say the 18 and up students. So it's about career planning. How do I pick a major? How do I finance university and all those kind of good stuff? And then there's also in that program, there's the general stuff, and then there is more specific stuff. So like discussing what is it like to be a woman, a woman in medicine in Jamaica or something like that, and all those kind of questions that we tend to ignore and don't touch on for students. But I think the response has been amazing. I know we've had at least that passed through the platform over 200 students.
Wow.
That's passed through the platform right now, and either submitted questions or connecting with Minds as well, which is very promising.
Yes, that is very, very promising, and I know this is something that's very much needed in Jamaica to support students. Is there a cost to participate in the Minds Off?
No. So the platform is completely free and open right now, and I think one of the big focuses, as we grow, we want to be able to keep that. So we're going to be seriously pursuing kind of larger funding now to really allow us to scale and keep that cost down. Because to be honest, when we launch actually, because you want to build something that is sustainable, so we launched with a price tag, and it was maybe $5 US a month or for 3 months. I can't remember what the number was when we launched, because again, this is all very new to me and just really exploring the space. And I was thinking, okay, would want to try and see if this thing can sustain itself. But in the end, once you look at it, it was something that I wanted to democratize access, and it is hard to do that. Even if with a low price, it's hard to do that really, especially for young students.
Yeah.
And so we made a move to just open the platform, make it free, and then try to figure out where the money going to come from later on, and pursue grant funding and stuff. So we're at that stage now where we're going to seriously be looking to scale and bring in other types of funding. Okay,
so if someone is watching this now and they want to connect with a Mind, because either they're a young person or they're even a parent of a young person, or it's someone who would be interested in donating or contributing to helping to support Minds of Jamaica, where would they go to get information?
Yeah, so I think, the best step, especially for somebody who wants to, sign up for the platform or explore the Minds, would be just to go to the mindsofjamaica.com. That's where you'll get links to, the Career Kickstart program if you want to sign up there, or the Rising Stars program, and get info just generally what we're about. And also, I think our Instagram, we managed to answer a lot of DMs, and a lot of people, even when the information is there on the website, people just like to just ask the questions, or it's just in the DM. So we try to get to those as well. So if you want to do is just reach out at Minds of Jamaica on Instagram, and ask us, how do I get involved if you want to be a Mind or a mentee, and we will help guide you through that process. And then when it comes to donations, those are really kind of taken directly. So normally what we do is ask them to email us at moj@themindsofjamaica.com, and we'll arrange there. We're still exploring kind of what are the best ways to kind of automate that process.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, so if you are watching this and you want to connect with Minds of Jamaica, you can go to the website, themindsofjamaica.com. You can also check out their Instagram at Minds of Jamaica. And if you look at Dr. Ricketts' screen, you can see the information is right there on his screen. If you forget and you want to come back and you don't have a pen right now to jot it down, no worries. If you are watching us on YouTube, the information is going to be below the video. So we'll have all of the Minds of Jamaica information below the video, as well as the email where you can reach them if you're interested in supporting them financially. If you're watching this on Facebook, the information is going to be above the video, and it will be the same exact information. We'll have all their social media handles, we'll have the website, and we'll also have the email where you can send them a message if you're interested in donating to them. So the information will be below or above this video, depending on where you are watching it from. All right, so I want to pivot a little because we've talked about your professional career. We've talked about Minds of Jamaica and what inspired you to start it, and just the work that you were doing to really pour into the young people in Jamaica and inspire them, you along with your team and all these amazing minds. So I want to talk a little bit about leadership and what you have learned on your journey about leadership. So as you, and this could be a leadership lesson. I want to talk about some of the lessons you've learned. And this could be a lesson you've learned as you've been developing and cultivating Minds of Jamaica, or it can just be a leadership lesson you've learned over the course of your life or even your professional career. So what is the one lesson that you have learned from being a leader?
Man, I think this has been one of the the most amazing experiences for me in terms of growth in that capacity, right? And I think one of the biggest things, and it's something that you should know, but especially when you're starting something, you don't realize that like you really can't accomplish all you need to accomplish or all you want to accomplish alone. Like even if it is your baby, and you work so hard, it was just you and maybe one other person in the beginning and so on, but you have to find a way to allow people to get involved who believe in that passion, and also empower them to feel like, they feel like they have some ownership of it. Don't make sense. You invite someone to come and help you, but at every turn, it's very clear that it is my thing and none of it is yours. and you're just here as a service to me. And that is something that it really took a while, because in the beginning it was me and a friend of mine, Shar, who we were really just trying to put it together and figure out how this would work. And then after a while I tell one friend and they come in and help out. Friend Shanae, especially in the beginning, was huge and so on. But after a while, I was doing, I was answering all the DMs, I was emailing, I was setting up these meetings, I was trying to do so many things. And it was really, at some point, it's fine to like wing it and bootstrap in the beginning when you're trying to figure it out. But sometimes if you really want to accomplish all the goals you set out for yourself and sufficiently large goals, you have to have a team. You have to have people there who you trust to take advantage of things, and it's on you as a leader to ensure that they feel like their work is valid, is appreciated, and to encourage them. And one big thing that I've found that has been huge for me is making sure you take the time to understand people's motivations. Right. So yes, Minds of, we're helping students, and for a lot of people, that is the main reason that they come and they say they want to get involved. But as a leader, figure out what else is there. Like maybe they want to find opportunity to work on public speaking. Maybe they want to be a part of this organization or brand, to elevate their own personal brand, because they want to go. They have another business that they're trying to launch, or maybe they've always thought of themselves as shy and reserve. I want a reason to get out there. Whatever it is, like take the time out to understand what the motivations are, and then make it clear that you are there to empower them and help them achieve those. So even though they're here helping out, helping Minds of achieve all I want to achieve, I want Minds of to do for them what they thought it could do, right? If it is within the realm of possibility. And that's something that I take a lot of time to read, and I keep checking it, like, hey, I know when you join up and you said this is what you want to work on, how you feeling? Do you feel like you're getting those opportunities to work on that? If not, like, how can we do that moving forward? Because that helps everybody stay invested. Just by you checking in, they know that you actually, you're keeping abreast of what is going on, and you care about what their own goals and their personal goals, and it's not just about what can they do for you, kind of thing. And that has been huge for me, for sure. And for the most part, other lessons is communication is key, like being very clear when you speak to the team, and stuff. There's this concept of a person in charge, where no matter what, how small the task is or the project, ensure as a leader that you identify who is in charge of making sure that it's successful.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times we'll talk, kind of general, oh, we need to do the XYZ by next week. And we say to the general team, and everybody thinks the other person will take care of it and that kind of stuff. So, making sure you're clear in those communications is key, as a leader, for sure. And making sure you keep lines of communication open for feedback. Like I always ask people, like, do you think, how are meetings going? Are they on time?
Mhm.
You think I could be better in this area, that area? Like making it clear that it's a two-way street, I think is huge as a leader. So yeah, those are my tidbits.
And I really
Honestly.
like the motivation piece, finding out what people's motivations are or what motivates them. And when I consult with organizations, I tell them to make that a part of if it's a board member or volunteer, put that question on the application. Because, and I tell folks also, and before I go on, I also tell folks who are looking for volunteer work, looking to be involved in organizations, that it's okay to say, this is what I would like to get out of my experience. And it can be a personal get, or it can be professionally, or you want to grow your network. Those are really, really important, because for me, most of the opportunities I've received over the course of my life have been from volunteering. I volunteer, I do an amazing job, I connect, I grow my network, and somebody offers me a job or somebody offers me an opportunity. I mean, I have interviewed for a job twice in my entire life.
Yeah.
Most of the opportunities I have received have been because of the connections I've made through volunteering. But I've also made it clear that I am here, I'm showing up because I believe in a mission. I want to make sure that my talents add value to the work that's doing. But I also want to learn. I want to leave here with some skills.
Yeah.
I want to leave here, put this up on my resume. I want to leave here with a larger network. And that is okay. So I am glad to hear that finding out what folks' motivations are in being a part of Minds of Jamaica, and then following up, not just finding out and having them say it or write it down and it's stored away, but actually following up to say, are you getting what you wanted to get out of this experience?
Yeah, and I think even
phenomenal.
And that applies to just mentorship, like mentorship as a whole. A lot of times as a mentor, and we talk about this with our minds as well. You go into it thinking, okay, you are the one helping this person, you're giving, right? But a lot of times you learn so much from those interactions and benefits. So, we've had all these kind of stories kind of come out of having our minds just doing the amazing work that they're doing, where, mine calls me and tell me that because of a Minds of Jamaica, segment that we did with them and posted to YouTube, the CEO of their company happened to see it on YouTube and end up approving like a raise that they requested, and like told them in no uncertain terms that, like, hey, we saw that video you had on YouTube, really like what you're doing, here. And that's not something, we can't promise you also, like, come be a mind, guarantee you get a raise at work. But, when you give of yourself, it's amazing kind of what happens. We have another mind who, him and his mentee ended up publishing a book together. He always wanted to write a book, but, was never kind of in tune with, what are the steps in self-publishing. And just so happened his mentee, who came to him for other reasons, she had self-published 2 other books. So she ended up working with him to publish his book. And, that's something that he tells me about all the time, where, he can't imagine finding, when he started our joint, he wouldn't imagine that would be something that he would get out of it. But it's just funny how life works sometimes when they do good. So that's something I always kind of show and preach. And even myself, like, I really started Minds of Jamaica purely just, I saw a problem. I was like, oh, how can I help students? But I'd be lying if Minds of Jamaica has been amazing for like me and my personal brand and the kind of people I've been able to be a part of, platforms like these, that I've been able to be a part of because of what Minds of Jamaica is doing, and the wonderful people that's been involved in it. So,
well, I'll tell you, the minds are everywhere. A couple weeks ago, we had our JDWOT first nonprofit conference, and I found out that Tomoy, who was the moderator, it was a day long. She was a Minds mentee. And then we had a panel of millennial and Gen Z. We had a panel discussion about how can boards engage those 2 generations. And 2 of the panelists were also Minds of Jamaica, right? So this is
we're out here.
Yes, you're out here, and the magic is spreading, like the pebbles, the pebbles in the pond, right?
Yeah.
It's really
And
spreading.
we're launching in Trinidad in a few weeks, actually.
Wow.
So
Tell us a
that'll
little
be
bit about that
exciting.
before we wrap up. Tell us a little bit about the Minds of
Just
Trinidad and
sprinkle that,
Tobago.
just sprinkle that little, yeah,
Sprinkle that little thing right there.
we're launching Minds of Trinidad and Tobago coming very soon. With the social media and stuff is already live. So if you go to things at MOTT on Instagram and Facebook, you'll find them. But that, the original plan for this was just to be me and like a few friends, and maybe every semester we pick 1 or 2 students and we try to help them. And then when it became Minds of Jamaica and we started Impact, I was speaking to a student a week and a half ago, and they were telling me that, they're so happy that this exists now. And that really connected to me, because when I was putting together Minds of Jamaica, I tried to imagine when I was that age, like, what do I wish existed in terms of, because even me traveling, pursuing studies abroad, like that was hectic. You know what I mean? Trying to find information, trying to figure out where to go, because neither of my parents studied abroad before, not knowing where. So stuff like that was amazing. So when I saw kind of the promising work that Minds of Jamaica is doing, I was like, okay, maybe this is something that, and I'm sure this is not a problem that only exists in Jamaica.
Right, of course.
So, and a good friend of mine, Abigail Maxwell, she actually went to the same university I did. She's a geologist in Trinidad. So we got to talking and, thinking, would this be something that we think could work in Trinidad and Tobago? And she was, she's been very supportive of the Minds of mission in the beginning. So I knew she was the right person to kind of lead the charge there. So she's now the director for Minds of Trinidad and Tobago, and
wow.
She's put a great team around her. And I think they already have about 20 minds signed up and ready to go. So I think they're going to do some amazing work as well. So it's something that I hope grows and we get more focus, because for the longest we've seen mentorship as just kind of the kind of mentorship where it's like, all right, let's give this boy a mentor so that he doesn't end up in a gang or doesn't go to jail and so on, which is an important kind of mentorship.
Right.
I think career mentorship, that's been a blind spot.
Yes.
For a long time.
And even entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Right. Even entrepreneurship, that has also been a blind spot for lots of especially smaller countries as well. So you are legacy building. So years from now, even if you are no longer actively involved in Minds of Jamaica, Minds of Trinidad and Tobago, Minds of Bahamas, Minds of St. Vincent, Minds of Ricketts, Minds of wherever, Minds of Haiti. Even though years from now, I think that's one of the important things about our lives and leaving a legacy, not just a memory, because those fade, but legacies don't fade. Legacies don't fade at all. And so I think it's so important, the example you're setting for those in your generation about a young boy in Montego Bay had probably didn't really kind of know what he wanted to do, but one person, you said it was one conversation that changed the trajectory of your life. One conversation. It wasn't a couple of people. One person took the time to have a conversation with you, and now you're duplicating that one conversation because it worked for you and it's working. So Minds of Jamaica, that's really what it is. That one experience you had, you're duplicating that now hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over. So I think that legacy is so important. I think it should be celebrated. Congratulations on the first of many countries where there will be Minds of.
Thank you.
That is pretty exciting. So before we kind of get off here and I release you from your obligation to chat with me, one of the things that I've often heard from folks, not many young folks, but a lot of folks like my parents' age, etc., who've left Jamaica, is that they will never go back because Jamaica this, Jamaica's that, Jamaica's the other. What would you say to people who have left Jamaica, or even people who are right now want to leave Jamaica to go elsewhere? What would you say to them?
Who want to leave Jamaica to go elsewhere? Who
want to leave to go elsewhere, or who have left and don't even want to glance back at Jamaica. They want nothing at all to do with.
I guess everybody has a different experience, but from my experience, I can't even imagine that, because Jamaica, is somewhere where when I go home, like there's a level of peace that like comes over me that I do not get anywhere outside of Jamaica.
It's
Yeah,
home.
you know, the conversations, the energy, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff is not something that I personally could say, all right, I'm fine never having that in my life. Like I understand in some cases, and especially in my case, where there's certain things, especially certain industries where, you know, just realistically you have to go study abroad. But if it wasn't for that reason, I'll be home. Like I would be home. And I think, you know, some people, maybe a lot of their family has traveled abroad, so they have family all over the place. But for me, my family hasn't been one to, like, you know, a bunch of us, you know, are abroad or all over the place. Like most of my family is still in Jamaica, speaking extended family. So I think you know, even for people who have left and say they don't want to go back, you know a lot of, you know, who you are, you know, what you're doing now, you know, Jamaica is what put that in it, that foundation. Yeah. And I think, you know, I encourage everybody to just, at least, you know, it's up to you where you want to live, where you want to spend time, but, you know, remember Jamaica in all you do, in any way you can. There's so much good work to be done, and there's so many amazing people down there that you know can help, ready to help, and have aspirations just like yours. And I was telling somebody the other day that I realized that, you know, in starting Minds of Jamaica, that there's not a lack of people who need help. You know, we think that is clear, but we sometimes think there's a lack of people who want help, and I don't think that's true either, because, like, you know, there's just a lack of ways to connect those two groups. You know, and you know, we're trying to do that in our own way with Minds of Jamaica. And, you know, I think in a lot of other circles, people can be that connection, right? To help people. So,
and I mean, there are thousands of Jamaicans around the globe, talented, successful, have paved their own paths, have made their own difference in their corner of the world. And so when I think of an organization like Minds of Jamaica and what you're doing to pour back into generations that are in Jamaica, you don't even have to go to Jamaica to do that. You don't have to leave your wherever it is that you live. But the idea is that, as you said, whoever you are now at the core, Jamaica made you that. You were born there, you were born on its shores, you grew up on its food, its culture. I mean, Jamaican culture around the globe is recognized. And so even if you don't want to step a pinky toe back on Jamaica, there are definitely ways that each of us can still contribute to making Jamaica an amazing place to live, to work, to do business, to get educated, without even entering its shores. And as Jamaicans living in the diaspora, I second what Camir said right now, just now, in that we really need to be looking for ways to give back to our country. And everyone has a different way. For me, I go. Because of COVID, I haven't, but I go. You may not want to go. I'll go, right? And so I can go. We can all do our part. And so organizations like Minds of Jamaica need our support in the diaspora. They cannot do it alone. I think what Camir and his team are doing is important for the future of Jamaica, because they are getting the future leaders, future teachers, future doctors, future parents, future whomever ready to really take Jamaica to its next level. So if you've been listening to this and you think that you would make a great mind to contribute to what he's doing, the information is going to be above or below this video. It's also on Camir's screen. Please reach out to them. And figure out how you can make a contribution, whether it's your skills, being a mind and contributing through mentorship, or digging in your pockets, and we don't want any coins with dust on it, making a contribution that matters, that will make a difference in the work that they are doing. Because although the platform is free to all these beautiful kids and young people in Jamaica, we know it's not free to operate. And it's important for us as Jamaicans to help other Jamaicans make Jamaica the best place it can be. Right? So I'm going to encourage everyone to really put your support behind this organization and in helping them go to the next level. Any last words, Camir, before we get off of here?
No, I just want to thank you and Jamaica Diaspora Worldwide Orgs Task Force, or JDWOT Chair.
Yeah.
I wanted to try saying it one time.
JDWOT.
I just wanted to try saying it one time. But thank you for the invite and the opportunity
Absolutely.
to be here and speak
Absolutely.
about Minds of Jamaica, and just use this platform again to shout out my team and all the people who are a part of Minds of Jamaica, who will be a part of Minds of Trinidad and Tobago, because there will be no Minds of without them, and I think it's amazing what they've been able to do and accomplish, and I hope we can get even more people involved if they're interested. So thanks again.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Dr. Camir Ricketts, for joining me for this interview. Once again, if you would like to connect with Dr. Ricketts and his team, whether it's Minds of Jamaica or the brand spanking new Minds of Trinidad and Tobago, the links will be above this video if you're watching us on YouTube. Sorry, below this video if you're watching us on YouTube, and above this video if you're watching us on Facebook. So it'll just be one click. And if it's Instagram, you'll have to do the @ but you can catch them on the website. You can also catch them on Instagram. Please connect. If you are of Trinidadian and Tobagan descent, connect, because Minds Of is coming to your country. And if you don't live there, it's coming. So show your support. So once again, thank you so much for watching this episode of Jam Talk. We look forward to seeing you again next week for another episode of Jam Talk. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Take care.